Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing that the person who went to sleep last night no longer exists, not metaphorically, literally, because according to modern science, philosophy, and even your own brain, the version of you reading these words right now may already be dead. And if that's true, then who exactly is watching this video? Because there is a disturbing possibility almost nobody talks about. One day, without noticing, you may stop being you. And no one, not your family, not your friends, not even you, would ever know. For most of human history, we have treated identity as something permanent. You are you, simple, a continuous person moving through time. The child you once were, the teenager you became, and the person you are today all feel connected, like chapters in a single story. But feeling something and it being true are not always the same thing. Think about yourself 5 years ago. Not what you looked like, but who you were. Your beliefs, your fears, the things that made you angry, the things that made you happy. Chances are that version of you feels strangely distant, almost like remembering someone else entirely, and in many ways it was someone else. Your body has changed, most of your cells have been replaced, your memories have changed, even the physical wiring of your brain has been continuously reshaped. Neurons are constantly forming new connections, abandoning old ones and reorganizing themselves. Your brain is not a monument carved in stone, it's a storm in motion. Yet despite all this change, something still feels stable. You still wake up every morning feeling like the same person. There seems to be a continuous observer behind your eyes, a permanent I, a central self experiencing reality. But this is where everything begins to fall apart. Neuroscientists have spent decades searching for the place where the self exists. They have scanned brains, mapped neural circuits, and studied patients with extraordinary neurological conditions. Yet they have never found a single location where you live. There is no command center, no tiny observer sitting behind your eyes, no hidden room inside the brain where consciousness resides. Instead, researchers discovered something deeply unsettling. The self appears to be something your brain creates. Moment by moment, your brain collects memories, emotions, sensations, expectations, and social experiences, then stitches them together into a story so seamless that you mistake it for a permanent identity. But stories can change, stories can be rewritten, stories can disappear, and this is where things become truly disturbing. In the 19th century, a railway worker named Phineas Gage survived an accident that should have killed him. An iron rod blasted through his skull, destroying large portions of his frontal lobe. Against all odds, Gage survived. But according to everyone who knew him, the man who lived afterward was not the same man who had existed before. His personality transformed, his values changed, his behavior became erratic. Friends reportedly said, Gage was no longer Gage. His memories remained, his body remained. But somehow the person was different. Then there are patients suffering from dementia. Families often describe the experience with heartbreaking words. It's like they've already left. The face remains familiar, the voice remains recognizable, but something essential seems gone. Little by little, memories fade, personalities shift, and identities dissolve. Eventually, loved ones are forced to confront an impossible question. If every memory, preference, and trait that defined someone disappears, are they still the same person? But perhaps the strangest example comes from a philosophical thought experiment known as the Ship of Theseus. Imagine a ship. Over time, every wooden plank is replaced until none of the original pieces remain. Is it still the same ship? Most people say yes. Now imagine that every single atom in your body is gradually replaced over time. Your beliefs evolve, your memories change, your personality shifts. At what point do you stop being you? No one knows, and this is the part almost nobody talks about. You are not a fixed thing. You are a process, a pattern, a constantly changing arrangement of memories, experiences, and biological activity. The you that existed 10 years ago is gone. The you that exists today will eventually disappear too. In fact, versions of you die all the time. Every major heartbreak, every traumatic experience, every profound realization creates a new self while quietly burying an old one. Think about the biggest turning point in your life. Before that event, you saw the world one way. After it, you saw it differently. Perhaps you lost someone. Perhaps you failed. Perhaps you fell in love. Whatever happened, the person who existed before that moment may never have fully returned. But strangely, this isn't necessarily tragic. Because if identity is not fixed, then neither are your mistakes, neither are your fears, neither are the labels you've carried for years. The anxious version of you is not permanent. The insecure version of you is not permanent. The broken version of you is not permanent. They are all temporary characters in an unfinished story. Modern society constantly pressures us to find ourselves, as though there is some final, authentic identity hidden deep inside waiting to be discovered. But maybe there isn't. Maybe there never was. Maybe life is not about finding yourself. Maybe life is about continuously creating yourself. And perhaps that is what it truly means to be human, because one day you will stop being who you are today. That much is certain. The only question is whether that future version of you will emerge by accident or by choice. The most unsettling possibility is not that you will change. It is that you already have, and the person who started watching this video may not be the same person who finishes it.